2, 3, 1.
Puertorriqueña, ande chica, Puertorriqueña.
Hi, I'm Joan Cartwright. Welcome to a special edition of The Arts Reporter on MJTV Network, where we focus on entertainment, arts, entrepreneurs, and inspirational life stories. This special edition is about amazing music women. It comes from a book that I wrote by the same title, Amazing Music Women. It's sponsored by Women in Jazz South Florida, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that promotes women musicians globally. On June 14th, our Amazing Music Women Ensemble will perform at ArtServe in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Visit our website, www.wijsf.org, for details, and find me, Joan Cartwright, on Facebook. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. So, we are here with my co-host, Sandiblair. Now, you know, most notable amazing music women have been vocalists. And Sandiblair holds workshops for aspiring vocal musicians. So, Sandy, tell us what brought you to the position that you wanted to teach other vocalists.
Listening to instrumentalists, trash vocalists.
Oh, okay. In what ways now we talk about music theory, performance, relating to the musicians. So, in what ways do musicians trash vocalists? As if I didn't know.
You know, there's a whole joke book out about vocalists, you know, like the vocalist the piano player who's talking to the vocalist and said, we're going to do, you know, the first 3 bars in D, and then we're going to change tempos, and then we're going to go to another key, and then we're going to change tempos again, and, you know, and the vocalist says, well, that's too much to remember. And he says, I don't know why you did it last night like that. You know,
But actually, I have to be truthful. In the 40 years that I've been doing this, I have not had a lot of challenges with musicians. But that's because I know music theory. Okay? And so the first thing I do is I sit down and play In a Sentimental Mood by Duke Ellington. And they say, oh, she knows how to play the piano, and she knows a tune without reading it on the paper. So what do you teach your vocalists? And we do have a clip of your workshop after this segment.
Oh, good. Okay. That's exactly what I teach. My workshop has 5 segments, and I give the whole stage experience with giving signals to the band and counting off tempos, and I also give theory. And that's the main thing, that most singers will come up on the bandstand and they want to sing a song and they don't know what key they sing in, you know, and that's like, oh God, please at least know your key. Or when it comes to counting off the tempo, you know, that's
rhythm.
Counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. They'll count it off, or they won't know how to count it off.
Okay.
So all this stuff is important if you're going to be a professional and you want some respect from the instrumentalist that you're working with.
Well, one of our members, Carolyn Wilkins, who works at Berkeley, College of Music in Boston. She wrote in her book, They Raised Me Up, 1,000 scenarios flashed across my mind. Perhaps I asked the band leader to sit in and he'll tell me no. Maybe he doesn't like girl musicians. She says, or perhaps I go to play and I'm paralyzed and I have stage fright. Do you teach them about stage fright?
Oh, yes. I've got a technique for stage fright.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at a clip of you in your workshop, right? This is Sandiblair. We'll be right back.
Than I appear to be. I am a whole lot more than you can see. I am the definition of complete. I am what God created me to be. I am moving my ring finger now, you know, like. But it's basically what's happening once you make a decision that this is what you want to do. You want this air here. You know, and sometimes on stage you'll see me when I'm going for a note, I'll step in and push down on that note because I can get it out, you know, instead of trying to pull it from here, I sit on it, I push it from down here, up underneath here, and it gives me more power. With that, the demonstration that I did with the, you know, the breathing, if you're not there yet, you gotta keep at it because without good breath support, forget about it. Because you don't have the power to sustain. And you're going to have sore throats, you're going to have squeaking, you know, stuff is going to get away from you because, you know, it's all about the air and the power of the breath. Just lay down on the floor, lay down on your bed, lay down on something that's going to hold your shoulders still. The lip flutter is very good because you can't overblow, and that's a very important thing. You know, like you can go, ah, you know, and that's just too much energy. That's just too much air floating over your cords. You don't need that. That's why, you know, somebody invented this microphone so that you don't have to blow that.
Last night in the rehearsal, so when you say have that spot and look at that spot,
yes.
So I was trying to look at a spot on the wall to get out the song and breathe all at the same time.
Practice this for 5, no more than 10 minutes. You get your spot on the wall and you mentally decide, that's where I'm going to put it. You're pushing it from back here straight. And it's a mental thing. You have to concentrate on it. And you don't want to concentrate on it on stage. Because on stage, you're dealing with what's happening with the band, you're dealing with the lyrics, you're dealing with the rhythm, you're dealing with a lot of stuff. So the concentration, you know, is going to be off. Once your mind wraps around it, you've been practicing this every day for at least 3 weeks. You get to it for a month. It's a habit now. You know, I appear to be a whole lot more than you can see. I am the definition of complete. I am what God created me to be. You tell me who you think I am.
Welcome back to the special edition of the Arts Reporter, Amazing Music Women. And I'm here, my name is Joan Cartwright, and I'm here with Sandiblair, my partner in crime. Yes, we are. Now, this time we're talking about marketing and branding yourself. A lot of musicians don't understand that their business is not performance. Their business is getting the gig and getting people to the gig. So what do you think about demos, photos, bios?
Yeah, well, they're very, very important. And like you said, a lot of musicians or singers just don't get it. And that's because they're artists. And that's why we, started out with that whole management thing. Managers, that's usually what a manager does. Make sure that, the artist is represented properly. But all artists should know how to do it themselves. So we have now EPKs, electronic promo kits, And you got to get, some history, where you went to school, how you, what you studied, where you studied, if that's important. And a little demo of what you sound like. If you want to get a job, unless you want to run around with your instrument all week,
And play for free.
Yes.
No, you don't want to do that. Yeah, so you need a YouTube video of what you sound like, and then a mailing list of the people that you would like to invite to your show.
Well, yeah, wherever you can, demonstrate your craft, and anybody hears it, you say, can I have your card so that I can put you on my mailing list so that I'll let you know whenever I'm performing? And you just build it, and you get a good mailing list, and it's good to have a texting list too.
Right.
Get their cell phone numbers.
And the venues pop right up in Facebook now, so they make it really easy on social media. We're going to talk about technology a little later, but it took me 20 years to get my first CD. How long did it take you to get yours?
Well, 20 years from when?
From when I started singing.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, if you're going to go from when you
Not
started
20,
singing,
18 years.
4
18
years old, so I guess it took me a whole lot of years too.
Right, well, I started at 4, but I mean, I got paid when I was 27. But I didn't get my first CD until 1995. I have to figure out how old I was, but I thought it was 20 years,
Well, actually, I produced my own my debut CD. And that's something, well, by the time I got there, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you want a creative control, you have to do it yourself. If you get somebody else's money to, do your CD, they're going to tell you what they want. So it's all about having creative control. So you put your money up, and it shows the recording companies that you're serious about your art. If you're going to put your own money in it, and then you present what you feel best represents you. Of course, they're going to mess with it, but at least the bottom line, you've got what you really, really wanted to lay down.
What is the name of your first CD?
No More Blues.
Okay, and mine is Feeling Good. And you can go on the internet and find us. Okay, what's your website, Sandy?
I got a couple of them. I have The Vocal Musician, and I also have Sandiblair Enterprises.
Okay, and I have
Sandiblair Enterprises.
Joan Cartwright. Google us. Google Sandiblair, S-A-N-D-I.
Yeah.
And Joan Cartwright, not Joanne. Okay, thank you. All right. So we're going to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of TAR TV's amazing music women.
That's us.
Giving my love to you. Giving my love to only you. Giving my love to you.
So, we're back at TAR TV, where we focus on the arts, entertainment, entrepreneurs, and inspirational life stories. Today, we have a special edition with amazing music women. That would be me, Joan Cartwright, and my cohort here, Sandiblair.
Thank you so much.
Now, Sandy, first of all, I want to thank you for supporting us by joining Women in Jazz South Florida.
Well, it sounds like a good idea.
And I think it is, because now we have a TV show. And I wasn't going to have this with somebody else here in Atlanta. I know that. And I'm very happy that you're here with us. Well, Women in Jazz South Florida is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that promotes women musicians globally. I founded the organization in 2007 because I recognized that in the 30 years that I had performed, I hadn't worked with that many women musicians, instrumentalists. And I did perform my own music, but I wasn't performing the music of women. It was all, you know, Cole Porter, Duke Ellington, Johnny Mercer, you know. So I said, we need an organization that focuses on women composers and instrumentalists. I got a lot of grants, and we did performances at museums, colleges, schools, cultural centers. That's how we monetized the organization. Then we produced 4 CDs, which people will see on the screen, the 4th one. And that won this award from Black Women in Jazz. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, for Best Compilation CD. So, yeah, that award, Best Compilation. I also won Lady Jazz Master, and our producer of this show won Best Performing Artist in Theater. That was terrific. That is MimiJohnson.net, who happens to be my daughter, by the way. And she's allotted us this time. Anyway, so Women in Jazz South Florida has 4 CDs with 40 songs by 34 women released in January 2011, 12, 13, and 14. And we're hoping to put one of your songs on 15. That is one of the perks of being a member. To be a member, you don't have to be a musician. So, for instance, our next guest, Reagan Whiteside's husband can join, or our engineer, Al, can join. And Bird, our guest in the chat room. How you doing, Bird? You thought I wasn't going to get to you, didn't you? You can join, too. Go to WIJSF.org and join us. You can join at $50 level as a regular member, or $150 level as a champion member. That means we love you more. Right? Okay, so now we are going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to bring onto the set one of our newest, no, actually Reagan has been with us for some time. Reagan Whiteside. We'll be right back.
Say you're down, you want to cry. Let me give you good advice. Hold your head up and just tell the blues bye-bye. Hold your head up and say bye-bye to the blues. Say you lost your job, can't pay your rent because all your money's spent. Dry your eyes, yes, dry your weeping eyes. Hold your head up and just tell.
Yeah. Giving my love to you.
Are you looking for that special treasure? Stop by Airport Antiques Gallery, an upscale, one-stop shopping experience. We feature some of the finest antique furniture, art, and collectible treasures from around the world. Airport Antiques and Eclectic Treasures provides professional auction and estate services for your personal valuables. We turn your treasures into... Located at 3440 Lang Avenue, Hapeville, Georgia. We are waiting for your call. 404-530-3930. That's 404-530-3930. Airport Antiques and Eclectic Treasures.
So we're back. Amazing music women that we are, with Sandiblair, my co-host. I'm Joan Cartwright, and this is one of our members, our talented members of Women in Jazz South Florida. She lives in Georgia, proving that this organization is global. Reagan Whiteside, welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And we're going to jump right into this segment talking about most male musicians will refer another male. They won't refer a female. And many women musicians, vocalists, don't hire women either. So there must be a paradigm change for this. And I wrote a paper called Conscious Inclusion of Women Musicians, because I think a lot of people just don't think about inviting a woman to the stage. Now, Reagan, what has been your experience with that?
Well, I know I've probably been guilty of, you know, calling men first, and it's just not anything that I thought about consciously, honestly. But you know, I played in an all-female band for many years when I was in New York. I'm from New York. I've only been in Georgia for 2 years, but I played with an all-female band for many, many years. So I kind of almost felt like that was my penance, I guess, for not, you know, hiring more women. And it was a fabulous experience, and I miss it a lot, being, you know, away from them. So, but yeah, you know, now I'm definitely, you know, wide open with, you know, finding female musicians, you know, especially drummers. And, you know, yeah.
And Sandy, have you worked with women musicians?
I most certainly have. As a matter of fact, I prefer female musicians to male, to be honest with you. And there's a club that I go into in New York, and it was by accident, not consciously, that I actually picked my trio. They were all female. And then the next year when I went out, they were, you know, available. I took them again. And the next time I went in, the host said, Sandy has started a tradition here bringing female musicians. And I went, oh yeah, I guess I did. You know, like, I didn't even realize that, you know, I was leaning towards, but they're just excellent musicians. They're just great. Yeah. And
the New York musicians, all three of us are from New York. I'm from Queens. You're from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Money earned in Mount Vernon.
All right, upstate. So we're all
upstate. It's next to the Bronx.
Well, yeah, but it's above the Bronx. But this is what I work with Kim Clark. You work with Kim Clark. Have you ever heard of her? The bassist.
Matter of fact, I played in the female band with her.
There you go. But it's always the same women. You understand? That's the problem. So we have grown a network of 142 musicians. Most of them are women around the world. And we talked about that. You can go to our website, click musicians, and see our musicians. Well, we're going to take a short break, and then we have a special treat because Reagan is going to play her instrument for us. Is it an original?
Yes, it's an original tune off my new album.
Called?
Valentine Dream.
Valentine Dream. Gotcha.
Meet the Williams family, the matriarch, Tyra.
Hello, world.
The baby, Mimi.
Tyra. Hey, world!
The Siblings sitcom. Meet the Williams family. Meet the baby, Mimi.
Hey, world.
Meet Junior.
Hello, world. Hey, Junior. Hey, Mimi.
Meet Vanessa.
Hi, Mimi. Hey, Junior.
Hey, Vanessa. She's having a vision.
The Siblings sitcom.
Hi, world.
So we're back, Tar TV. How about a big hand for Reagan Whiteside from her new album entitled
Quantum Drive.
Quantum Drive. Now we can't wait. We're going to finagle a CD release party here somewhere. In the meantime, we're going to talk about creation and protection of your creative product. So Sandy, I remember you telling me that we express ourselves better through our own music, and we can make more money from our own music if other people play our music.
Oh, yeah.
So that was my experience with Sweet Return by Freddie Hubbard. I'm in the Freddie Hubbard songbook. I mean, that, you know, that's kudos for me. But anyway, now, a friend of mine, I told you that a friend of mine recorded my song without my permission. But you told me that I had given her the song sheet.
You gave her the lead sheet.
So?
That was permission.
Okay. Now, what about the royalties? Do I get any royalties from that CD?
Well, if she's registering it, yeah. But a lot of people sell their music from the stage, and they really don't report it. And I think there may be some unwritten little agreement that, you know, you can do that maybe for the first 1,000, but I don't really know how many she sold.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how many she sold.
No, I don't, and I have no way of tracing that. And she was a guest on somebody else's CD, so she doesn't even have control over that. Yeah, but the point is that I was with BMI for 23 years, and I used to fill out those little publisher sheets when I was on tour. You ever see those? The big, long publishing sheets, and put my songs in there. I never got anything from BMI. So I switched to ASCAP. I will switch on you, okay? I was, especially after 23 years, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's a long time. But you know what I was just thinking? You said that she was a guest on someone else's CD. Then it's really not her CD that you should be looking for royalties on. It's whoever the producer of the other CD is. That's who you should go after.
And they probably did 1,000 CDs and, you know, didn't.
Have you ever heard it on the air?
No. Not hers, not unless I played it on my radio show, which I've done. You know, but it's okay because you did clear it up that I had given her the lead sheet. That was giving her permission to record my music.
Actually, as soon as you release it and it's played on the air, you give the world permission. It is now out there. Unless you never release it, then you still got control over it. But once you release it, it's on the airwaves in any form. It's open game.
Okay. Well, Harry Fox Agency is where people go to pay for the mechanicals to use your tune, right?
Yeah. That's one of the places. They've got a whole new entity now since it hit the internet, since music hit the internet.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to talk about that in the next segment. So, we're going to talk a little bit about associations, the Grammy Recording Academy, and different associations like our organization, but we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I am. Hey. Woman. Check it.
Welcome back to TAR TV, and we are in a special edition of TAR TV with Amazing Music Women. This is a technology and marketing segment, and Sound Exchange is the site that you were talking about.
That's the name of the entity that's taking care of royalties, digital royalties, online.
Okay. Now, do you have your CD on CD Baby?
No.
No, it's very easy. It's not. I'll tell you all about it. You know I will. And that's what I do with my members. I make sure that they're on board. Like, you see this book? So, you want to be a singer. Well, this book will tell you all about clothing and music, sheets and musicians and equipment. And it's for a third grader. But the thing about it is that I also encourage our members to get their songs in a book. So I encourage our members to do whatever it takes to market themselves. And the internet, of course, has opened up a whole new set of issues about protecting your material. You could copyright your songs online at the Library of Congress. Downloads are available to everybody globally. But the history of hip-hop artists sampling music of jazz musicians led to people ripping off songs onto their computer and transferring them to iPods and then burning CDs. So how do we keep up with all of our royalties if they do that to us?
You got me. Aside from bringing a lawsuit, I don't think there's any way you can actually. The internet is the new Wild West.
Oh, the Wild Wild West. They're talking about the Wild Wild West.
It's new territory.
And the regulations differ in the United States and, say, Asia.
Oh, yeah, well, Asia's another matter altogether.
Yeah, because you just came back from Japan, right?
It's almost legal to pirate your music in Asia. Well,
it is legal.
It is legal.
Yes, and very well done.
No, they know what the copyright law is, but they don't enforce it at all, to any great degree. So that's why I said it's almost legal. Mm-hmm. It's not really legal.
How was Japan?
Japan was busy.
Busy.
Yeah.
And you're going back.
Yeah, I'm going back again.
At the end of the year. But we have 2 more shows coming up, August 20th, and I think it's October. Let me check my notes, because I'd have to keep notes. October 22nd. So make sure you follow us on the internet. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back to talk to you about art and cultural programs.
Yeah, Reagan's coming back too, isn't he?
Yes, in a little while.
All right.
So welcome back to TAR TV with this special edition of Amazing Music Women. We're talking about art and cultural programs because how do you monetize this career? You know, people work in clubs. The clubs are closing. People stop drinking. So people don't go to clubs a lot. You can't smoke there, you know, and a lot of stuff keeps people from going. But I found that if you get a grant and you do programming and art and cultural programs, you can make $2,500 a shot, not $250 or $500 for a band a night. So that's what I call monetizing. But Sandy, you were telling me that, you know, if you work with a producer, they put the money up, you have to do what they say. And you had an experience in Japan about that?
Well, it was actually just a gig. It wasn't, you know, they were producing a radio show, but they didn't tell me about it.
Oh.
Yeah, they told me it was a private party, so they gave me a price, you know, that they were paying for a private party, and I said, okay. And so when I got there, as soon as I got, you know, to the door, they said, hurry up, we have to make up, you know, because we have to go on air anytime, you know, and I said, air? You know, nobody told me about air,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I realized that, oh, no, it wasn't until he's now my adopted son, you know, he came in with his camera equipment and all that. I said, what are you doing here? He said, oh, they've been advertising this on the radio for the past week. Of course, I didn't hear it because I don't speak Japanese, so I didn't know what it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they had actually advertised that they were doing this radio broadcast. And so after he told me that, I just sat down and went, okay. And I didn't even ask anybody anything. I just sat there, and they kept saying, Teddy's on, please move, come, get sound. I said, I'm not doing anything, you know, until somebody explains what's going on. And finally, like 2 minutes before we were air, they said, okay, what do you want, you know, in perfect English. And I said, I want more money because, you know, nobody told me about this airing thing. You know, before there was like everybody was speaking Japanese and, oh, my goodness. But I got it, you know, because I had them.
Because you have to know your value. Yeah. I toured all over Italy, and they videotaped everything I did. When I die, there's going to be the Joan Cartwright movie with these people. I'm serious, and I'm not going to get a dime from that.
I have a really good friend. I don't know if you know Mickey Braden. Mickey Braden is an excellent artist. She plays piano. She sings. She's brilliant. And I was in Japan doing a gig, and on the break, this fabulous singer was playing through the speakers, and I went over to the counter and said, who is that? You know, I didn't recognize the voice. And they showed me the album cover, and I go like, oh, that's my girlfriend Mickey Braden. So when I got back to the States, I called. I said, girl, that's a nice piece of work you left over in Japan. She said, what? They had recorded her while she was on stage and didn't say anything to her about it. And that was big.
And then like, you told me about a woman that used to videotape you from the audience.
Yeah, this club, the band was right in the bar was shaped, you know, ovally, and the band was sitting here. She used to sit at the end of the bar and send requests, you know, and I used to do requests, and she would send a request, and whatever she requested, you know, I would sing and she would tape it. And I was doing that for a long time until one night I saw the red light. And I went, oh, no, she's taping it.
And she goes back and learns a song like you sing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why we can't work in Japan, a lot of us. We're going to take a short break, okay? And we'll be right back with more of Amazing Music Women on TAR
They'll
TV.
Do it to you.
Hey, baby, see my keys? Can't find my keys. Oh, there they go. Right quick, I'll be back. Yeah. In the corridors of my mind, I imagine what the road of life would be like.
So we're back with Amazing Music Women on MJTVnetwork.info. We're here with Sandiblair, my co-host, and our special guest tonight, Reagan Whiteside. Now, Reagan,
yes.
The word agent, what does it do to you? Because I know what it does to me. I only had one really good agent in my life. One good, 4 years, it was good. But
it's like having one good man.
Is it? Well, I've had 4 of them. No.
If you get a good one, you're in good shape.
We're not going to talk about how many. This is another show. Okay, Reagan.
Yes.
The word agent.
Well, when I first got into the game, all I wanted was an agent. I need an agent. I want to get out there, blah, blah, blah. And then I got to a point where it was like, I got really wary of them, But I didn't know enough about the music business part. And now that I know the nature of the beast, how to navigate and all the ins and outs, I think it's a necessary thing. I mean, obviously you can try to do it yourself, but it's very, very difficult. And so as long as you go into it with your eyes wide open and know what it is and what it isn't, I think having an agent is very beneficial.
Well, that's really cool. What is it and what isn't it, Sandy?
Well, I agree with Reagan. I think all musicians and vocalists should know the business and know exactly what an agent's job is so that you know when they're not doing it. And but let them do it. Don't, because it just gives you more time to create and be creative. You don't have to get all into the business of it. And an agent's main purpose is to actually talk money for you, wherein it's difficult for you to talk money by yourself, because you put a value on yourself and you give it to an agent. Listen, this is my bottom line. I don't even get out of my bed for less than this. Okay, the rest of it, go for it, and they know what kind of a field they have to work with, and it's just a better condition for someone to represent you. It's like if you have to wave your own flag kind of thing. It's better just to have an agent that does that work for you. And that's their job, to get the work and to get the money, get the most money that they can and get the best condition for you.
Now, I had an agent in Switzerland for 4 years, and I worked. Mm-hmm. You just reunited with your agent in Japan.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing.
This was a great agent. She is still a great agent.
Okay.
And she kept me working. She was fair. I made nice money, and I'm sure that she must have gotten quite a price because she gave me what I wanted, and she kept, flourishing. So what meant she got money on top of what, she was.
Now,
paying
what
me.
is the percentage that agent should get?
Well, nothing less than 15%.
Okay.
They can go to as high as you'll allow them, because they'll ask you for 50. Like if you're crazy enough to give it to them.
Right.
But it all depends on who they are and how if they get you a spot on Arsenio Hall's show. I mean.
Yeah, they can get 50%.
You got a good agent.
Right.
I'll give them that. If I'm making 5 G's, I don't mind giving them 2.
Right. Right.
So, and that's it depends. You got to know what their job is. And the main thing, and this is a really a sticky place. You want to know who else they represent. If they don't represent anybody else, you got to, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to be your firstborn, but if they're representing someone that's doing the same thing that you're doing,
right, no
matter how famous, and if it's very famous, you really want to run like you're on fire.
Okay.
Because they're going to push the big act. They're not going to push you.
All right. Well, we're looking for some agents up in here. We'll be right back with more of Amazing Music Women on TAR TV. Welcome back. This is a special edition of TAR TV, produced by Mimi Johnson, but it's Amazing Music Women. And that would be me, the founder of Women in Jazz South Florida, and my two lovely members, Sandiblair and Reagan Whiteside. Now, we're talking about event planners and competition. Two separate things. Event planners, they have their own agenda, and the musicians are just a minute detail, okay? But when you talk about musicians, you got the musicians that work a 9 to 5. They get a check at the end of the week, and they work for $50. Where does that leave the musicians like us that pay our bills with our music?
In a corner.
Yes, in a dark corner. A dark corner, because you have so many amateur musicians out there. Now, I know you got a job.
I do.
Okay, but your musicianship, you don't go out there and work for $50.
I don't.
Yeah, but we know a lot of musicians that do, and that is our competition. Those people. So we really have to bring something when we, like you say, let me, let that top button loose, You might be showing them a little something that the other musicians are not going to show them,
I don't think that's
Just kidding. Okay. But now listen, what about real music versus sampling, beatboxes, electronic music, and do DJs hurt us professionally?
Oh, please. I could, if they would allow me to carry a pistol, I would probably go around.
No, you can't say that on TV. No.
Okay.
You're not going to eliminate.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Joking.
Well, I'm going to ask Reagan. What do you think about DJs and stuff? Did they block your glory?
No, because what I do and what they do are two completely different arts.
Okay.
It takes a lot of skill to be a DJ, a good DJ. I'm not talking about the people who fake the move with, the technology that pretty much does it for you. I'm talking about the real, rub and scratch, turn around and all that stuff. The DJs, from like the 80s, old school.
Yeah.
That takes skill, And
now DJs are old school. Did you get that? DJs are old school now. Go ahead.
The official DJ.
I understand what you're talking about.
But and with sampling when it's done well, it can be very, very creative. But you can't take somebody else's song and then just, change a beat here and there and, it's a whole new thing. No. You have to make it your own. You have to take that little piece and build and spin it. Until it's something new.
Okay.
And still
but you're spinning somebody else's thought, their music. So how do people get paid for that? Yeah.
Well, there is definitely, you have to clear that.
We're talking about monetizing our profession. That's what we're talking about here. So if the DJ got the song from the sampler, the engineer, then how does the person that wrote the music get paid? That's basically what we're talking about with Women in Jazz South Florida. How do we get women musicians and composers paid? You understand? We're going to take a short break and no short break. Sandy, what's your website again?
My website is m.sandibblairenterprises.com.
And yours, Reagan?
ReaganWhiteside.com.
And I'm JoanCartwright.com and WIJSF.org. Also, what are your words of wisdom?
Be educated. Know exactly what you're doing. This music is a business. It's fun to do, but it's a business.
Not everybody's going to like what you do, but the people who do, that's what your music is for.
Okay. Keep your dream close to your heart, and your mind will know the answer while your soul plays the chords. Your imagination can be the dancer. Okay, on June 14th, Amazing Music Women Ensemble will perform at Art Serve in Fort Lauderdale, June 14th from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. Do you have an event coming up?
I do. May 31st, I'll be at the Velvet Note in Alpharetta, Georgia.
This Sunday, what is this, the 22nd? Oh, no, what is Sunday? I forgot the date. What is
Sunday.
it? Sunday coming. 28th. 28th. I'll be at the West End Performing Arts Center at Groove Cafe.
Cool. Thank you so much. And we do want to tell you that Mimi Johnson, our producer, will have Genius Women in Music at Ferg's over in East Point. Google us. Sandiblair, Reagan Whiteside, Joan Cartwright, Mimi Johnson, TAR TV, MJTVnetwork.info. Amazing music women. Thank you. Tar tar. Tar tar.
If you give me some time, I'll make you mine. You are so divine. You make me shine. And every time I'm with you, my heart starts racing.